Hey guys, Noel here, and it is late on a Friday night, and I'm ready to go to bed. But before we do that, I thought it would be fun for me to do a little Flashback Friday introduction to the video that we're going to watch on the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. I've been just on a kick to look for old video game reviews that I seemingly have lost on different old laptops, and I found the very first video game review I ever did on the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. I actually deleted it and then did a new version. It's the WCW versus the World review. I don't know. I'm feeling nostalgic, so we'll keep the current WCW versus the World review up because I think that's the definitive version. But let's take a look at a Noel who needed to shave his head, fresh off the cancellation of the original G4, picking up the mantle of video game reviews on the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. Check it out.
Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Friday night. And unfortunately, since the channel G4 is gone, there's no more places to turn for video game reviews. Until now, right here. So you can now turn to the Noel ComiX YouTube channel for all kinds of cool video game reviews. And for our first video, I thought we would actually do one of my all-time favorite video games, WCW versus the World. And don't worry, unlike the channel G4, I have not been bought off by the PR departments of American video game manufacturers to hate on Japanese video games, so no worries there. This game actually is a Japanese video game. It is an American port of a video game known as Virtual Pro Wrestling, made by Asmic, and then distributed by THQ in the United States. And this is the first video game of the basically Nintendo 64 series of wrestling games, and it's not on the Nintendo 64. It's on the PlayStation. So before there was WCW versus NWO World Tour, and WCW versus NWO Revenge, and WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy. There was WCW versus the World. Now, if you know, in the late 90s, which was the kind of renaissance of wrestling, professional wrestling, at the pinnacle of that was WCW's NWO storyline, headlined by none other than Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and he was hunted down by Sting, who had basically become the Crow, and it was a really cool, captivating storyline, and this was the first video game that had to do with this WCW. It's probably the first really well-known WCW video game, and we'll talk about it right now. As we can see here, it is for the PlayStation right here. I got this in 1997 on Christmas morning. I came with my PlayStation, and I was extremely happy. So, let's actually take a look at the gameplay right here. Here we see Tiger Mask fighting what appears to be, I think, Taka Michinoku. One of the things I'll explain about this wrestling video game is that the versus the world part is the fact that this is basically filled with Japanese pro wrestlers that, because of copyright reasons, don't have their actual names. So right here, Tiger Mask is basically called Jaguar, and we'll talk about that right now as we actually get into some of the nuts and bolts of the video game here. So, if you guys are used to the current PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 games, you might be a little puzzled as to what's happening now. This is what's called a loading screen right here. So, back in the day, video games had to call up information. So as you can see right here, there's a bunch of different things you can actually do. The League Challenge, you basically go through WCW and various other leagues that are analogous to Japanese wrestling promotions. Fight through, I think it's, 7, 8 guys, and the last guy is a hidden character that if you beat, you unlock and win the belt of that company. And then you can basically do things like tournaments, leagues. Probably the thing that you will do the most on this, at least the thing that I like to do the most on this, is exhibition. You can do 1-player or 2-player. Now, the big thing that was lacking in this game compared to its successors is that this is only a one-on-one wrestling game. There was no tag mode, but the actual gameplay itself is extremely fun. As you can see right here, this is the WCW roster right here. And these are the people who are in it. Now, as you go on, there's only actually 2 members in the NWO, Masahiro Chono and Hulk Hogan. There's Tiger Mask. But, actually, I think at around this time, Great Muta was also in the NWO, and he's in this game as Bad Blood. Now, Ken Shamrock is in this game, as Sherlock. And then you can actually see, this is Antonio Inoki, and there's other wrestlers. This is the Barbarian. There's Hawk. Let's see who else we have here. That's Taka Michinoku. I think that's Sasuke, I believe. Now, this is not the actual WCW Giant, who's also known as the Big Show. This is actually, you can unlock Andre the Giant for the Super Heavyweight division on this game. When you beat WCW, you unlock Jeff Jarrett. Major Tom has actually got the moveset of Terry Funk. And here we go. So, as you can see, each color box is a different promotion. So as you can see, Hulk is the champ, obviously, because he's the man. Let's actually see if we can get some gameplay going here. And I'll probably actually have to use one hand here, so I'll almost certainly lose. Who should we fight here? We really should fight Sting, but what the heck? There's a real dream match. Let's do Hollywood Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Now, I love the soundtrack in this game. And a lot of the later wrestling games, like things like WWF, or WWE like 13 or something like that, I don't know. I'm not a real fan of the soundtracks to those games. In all fairness, I haven't played WWE 13, so I'm not actually sure what it sounds like, but in other games, you start to get things like this game has got, I think, a really cool kind of, poppy synth soundtrack here. I'm literally playing this with one hand. Now you'll see the grapple system is on this. The spirits are the same type of thing right here, this spirit meter. If you flex, you will build that up, and you can actually do a special move. Andre's doing his taunt. And just like WrestleMania 3, Hollywood slamming him. The gameplay is incredibly smooth. I've played some of the newer WWE games, so the gameplay feels really clunky. This is just, I mean, you move around and it's effortless. Alright, so we've got a little bit of sample of this gameplay here. And some of the music. Let's actually show another match on this here. When you beat the game, there is an awesome ending full of like sketches of Polygon guys, and there's this really like inspirational Japanese synth pop song. There's no lyrics, it's just all instrumental, but it's just really great. You can see me in the TV. No. Rocking a six-pack NWO shirt. Now, when this game was actually released, one of the things that was sold was that with this game, you could actually have a dream match between the traditional good guy Hulk Hogan and the evil Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So let's actually get a little bit of taste of that before we end this review video. I'll be Hollywood, and I will fight the Yellow Hulk. I like how in Hulk's character select screen, he's wearing a yellow bandana but an NWO shirt, so that's cool. Do. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not too bad with one hand, huh? Yeah, maybe I am. I mean, one thing I really like about the PlayStation is that even though the technology by modern standards is considered limited, they were able to do really creative, aesthetically pleasing stuff with it, in my opinion. You could probably find this game on eBay for not a whole lot of money. I actually haven't looked, but this was a greatest hits title on PlayStation, so there's a decent amount of units that were sold. So there you have it, guys. That is WCW versus the World. One of my all-time favorite wrestling games. The only real downside to it is they hadn't really gotten to a tag mode yet, so there's only singles competition, but you saw the amount of things you could do within singles. From exhibition to league challenges to tournaments, the gameplay's smooth, but even for me, maybe even more importantly, it's a beautiful game to look at, especially if you have a nice monitor or television. And the soundtrack is, I think, the best soundtrack in any wrestling game. And I know it's a subjective statement, but this is really my kind of style of music. Actually, in the background, this is the music that plays when you actually beat the league challenge, and I really love this song. I remember the first time I beat it, I was really blown away by it. A lot of these new video games, they actually have seemingly unlimited power to basically make pretty much whatever they want, but it was really the limits that I think really sparked a lot of creativity in these games from about 10, 15 years ago and even before. So I can't say enough good things about this game. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this game 70 thumbs up right here. So that's it, guys. Until next time, my name's Noel, and if you can, check out flea markets, eBay, whatever. Try to get your hands on WCW versus the World. Actually, really would be cool if they actually put this game on PlayStation Network or something like that. So anyway, guys, until next time, I'll see you. You all be cool. Bye-bye.